Welcome back to Sin City Podcast with Vegas. I've got my friend Megan here who has her own podcast. It's called Or So They Say.
Mm.
And where can they find your podcast?
We're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Uh, we nixed X. We're not doing X anymore, but we're pretty
Yeah, I
much
hear that.
everywhere on Or So They Say Pod. You can find us at Or So They Say Pod.
So tell them what Or So They Say is about. This is so cool.
So
I'm so excited right now.
my sister and I, we do a paranormal podcast. We're twin sisters. So our tag, it's hard to say it without saying the catchphrase, but we're twin sisters who travel small town America, one ghostly tale at a time.
There it is. See, that was professional.
Yes, it
She
was.
brought it out.
My sister Kelsey, she usually does the intro like that, but we just find small town. We try to stick to small towns, but we'll find locations that have haunted places. But we don't just talk about the ghosts there. We like to talk about the history and why people think it's haunted. Because people can point somewhere and say, "Oh, that's a really old, scary looking building. You know, it's probably haunted." We're like, "But why? Why is it haunted?"
Yeah.
So we're really interested in the history behind it, not just the ghost stories. So we do a little bit of both.
How did you get into this? Like, did you experience stuff when you were when you were a kid, and then you're like,
Yeah.
it became like a passion and a
Yeah, so when we first started ghost hunting, I think I was only 13 years old the first
oh
time I went to a
shit.
haunted place, and it was with my older brother, and we went to a little place called Ashmore Estates.
Oh, I can swap stories
I
here. Okay, go ahead.
so I can't condone this at all. We may have trespassed.
Yeah, we did. That's the only way we've ever been is by trespassing.
Yeah, so, because now it's actually been purchased and it's an attraction that you can pay to go
Didn't
to,
it get
but
purchased for like an insane little amount of money?
I don't know. I know that I mean, it was so dilapidated and stuff that they're
Yeah.
just like, I don't know, if you can do something with it, go for it. So they probably
Mhm.
did just essentially hand it over and say, "You can
Probably.
make something out of it." But, we trespassed onto
Yeah,
on
I
the
know, right?
property, and we were there for hours, and I know I was 13, 14, like, jot that down. But um I experienced things that night that I can't explain, and I know it sounds crazy, and I know I was a child, but also know what I saw, and I was
Mhm.
very cognitive of what was happening. So I I don't know. I guess I've been chasing that ever since because just we saw things, we felt things, we heard things. Um, it was the whole. I mean, everything you could possibly want in a ghost hunting experience. We got that night, which was
Wow.
crazy.
I never
So
got to see anything at
yeah,
Ashmore ever.
yeah. Um we ended up seeing this. I don't even know where to start. Well, the first thing when we first got there, we had our video cameras, we had walkie talkies. It was before smartphones, so we just had some flip phones, but cameras immediately died. Batteries just
Really,
drained, and
energy just out.
we had them maybe 15 minutes and they were gone. And we're like, okay, so no cameras tonight.
Oh my god.
But
No witnesses.
which is probably good. So I can't implicate myself later. But this is all hearsay. Um, but we saw at one point we were on the second floor, I believe, because it's 3 floors. And on the second floor, at both ends, there's stairwells. And we had gone with probably 6 or 7 people, but there were two who were too scared to go in once we got there. So they stayed out in the car. But it's also the guy who suggested going. So when we're on the second floor and we look at the other staircase, there's someone sitting on the stairs. And it was just this dark figure because it's very dark in the building. And we're like, he lied. He brought us here just so he could he's like, oh, I'm too scared to go in. And then maybe
Psych.
actually, yeah, snuck in and was going to scare us. So we yelled at him and we're like, what are you doing down there? And he stood up and walked into a room. So we went down there and we're like, what are you doing, dude? And we walked in the room completely empty.
What? So it was like
Yeah.
it was a shadow person?
Yeah, it was just like a dark,
Ooh.
didn't really have any features. It was
Ooh,
just a
no.
dark a dark figure that walked into this room. So that was unexplained. I mean, we were so baffled and we looked out the window and shined our lights and he's still sitting down in the car. He never left. And we were yelling at him. We're like, did you guys come inside? And he
He's like, dude,
said,
I've been here the entire time. Has
"Mhm."
anything ever like attached to you and you brought it home? Or anybody that you
Um,
know?
there is one, not that I've brought home, but I feel like when we've gone to other haunted places, we use an app called GhostTube. And it's essentially like a spirit talker. And yes, it's an app on the smartphone. Uh,
I've seen people
but
use it on TV. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
other professionals.
there's another one. It's called like Necrophonics. There's a couple of different apps that you can use. And sometimes I feel like they do just spout out stock words, like it's really not anything substantial, or you feel like it's just saying something to say something. But other times it's so pointed that you can't. deny the thing. Like if you ask a question and get a very intelligent answer, you're like, that didn't come out of nowhere, you know?
Wow.
So, but we had this one entity we investigated. We kept getting the name Jennifer, was the name we were getting. And there was no significance to it. Like, we didn't find anyone named Jennifer and the history behind it. So we're like, we don't know who this Jennifer is. But then we went to another place probably a few months later, and Jennifer started popping up again, this very random name, Jennifer. And we're like, is this the same Jennifer?
That'd be
And
so
we kept
weird.
getting this Jennifer person every so often. And eventually she stopped showing up. So I don't know where she went.
That's a mystery.
It is. We don't know where Jennifer's gone.
Do you guys mess around with, like, Ouija boards or anything like that?
We do.
What?
I do.
Oh my god.
To my mother's super, chagrin, we do have a Ouija board. And actually, one we have, um, it was so odd. The way we found it, it was this really old. We thought it was an original, like Ouija board. I can't remember who made it, but we were doing research on it, and we thought it was from like the early 1900s.
Oh my
And we're
god.
like, holy cow! It's from
You
the 19.
found this Ouija.
It was on Marketplace that we were
Oh,
just talking
see?
about.
Don't you be doing no marketplace.
And this guy, he was renovating this home for this older couple, and he was tearing down one of the walls, and it was inside the wall of the home.
Oh shit.
And
Nope.
he's like,
That's
"Hey,
like a
so
movie.
we just want this out of the house if somebody wants it." So we ended up buying it off of him. And after doing some research, we found it's really from the 1960s, which is still
Why
pretty
the
old.
hell was it in the
Why
wall?
was it
I
in the
have
garage wall?
questions.
I know. And it's this old couple. Like, it's not like, maybe, I don't know if some grandkids or kids put it there, but yeah, he just said they found it inside the walls.
That's bizarre. You guys are gonna make a movie. You guys are gonna be a movie.
That
Seriously.
would be horrifying.
I
The
know.
next Conjuring.
Oh god. You know that there's a new one out. I think it's like Conjuring 4 is coming out this.
Yes. What?
Now, seriously, I grew up with horror. My Okay, so funny story, fun fact. When I was about my daughter's age, around 11,
Hmm.
my girlfriends and I were doing Bloody Mary in the mirror.
Oh.
And my dad was like, he wouldn't even let me have a magic 8 ball, like stuff like that. He was
Oh
not he was not
no.
down with that shit.
Hmm.
So he caught us doing it and he made my girlfriends go home. He sat me down, he made me watch The Exorcist. He's like, you want to fuck around and find out? This is what will happen to you. So I've never touched a Ouija board, none of that. Because that movie scared the bejesus out of me. That movie, The Conjuring,
Hmm.
and The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Those
Ooh.
movies tripped me out. Like,
Did you ever see? Is it called Witchboard?
no.
Don't watch that one.
I have to now. I was like saying, don't look down. I love being scared.
I know. Yeah, Witchboard. Somehow it didn't deter me from using a Ouija board, but that one was terrifying.
Girl, you crazy. I love you. I cannot believe you use the Ouija board. Oh my God.
Yeah.
How do you protect yourself spiritually?
So I do carry some crystals with me. Before we ever open the Ouija board, we don't just jump right in. We've been doing it long enough that we know to first ask that we only speak to, benevolent spirits. We don't want anything harmful to happen. We just want to talk. We want to know about you. We're not here to cause any harm. We don't want any harm brought onto us. We light candles. We've done chalk circles. So we make our intentions very clear, and as soon as we see something start to get maybe not so kosher or get out of hand, we'll shut it down. And we always make sure to close on it.
And by
So
closing it, you mean say goodbye? Is that the
yes,
rule?
you tell them goodbye. You say, whoever's joined us, please leave. Like, we thank you for speaking with us, but we're done now. So
Yeah.
always make sure to open and be very polite and be kind and set your intentions about what you're going to do too. So
Has anything ever gone, I guess, too far? Like too scary, and you
yeah.
were like, "I'm out. I'm done. I'm quitting my job now. I'm going to church." Like,
Yeah.
like what? And what
Yeah,
happened?
it was actually, we didn't even have a Ouija board. So what we had was a cup and a cardboard box. So
That's all
you
it
don't
really
even
takes, really. I mean, you can make your own,
So
I
it
guess.
was me and my two other sisters and my older sister's friend. And I mean, you're kind of stuck to yes, no questions at that point. So we've all got our hands on the cup and we tell it, if yes, move the cup this direction or that direction. And this was early on. So we knew to open the circle, didn't really think about closing the circle.
Oh
And
no,
I think that was our big mistake because we weren't getting a lot, and we were getting annoyed. But it was also cool. We're like, okay, at least we know nobody's trying to cheat and move
that's
the
fair.
cup on the
Yeah.
box. But after a while, if nothing, our legs are going to sleep, our arms are getting tired. We're like, man, we're done. So the girl's apartment that we were doing this at, she got up and was like, I gotta pee, and she walks away. and we all kind of get up to stretch our
I'll be
legs.
right back.
Yes, she did. She
Ah, that's like, no.
you got it.
Don't say those words.
That is my favorite franchise, by the way. Scream is my
Scream is the
favorite.
best.
I love
I know.
Scream.
I'm glad I knew you'd
Yeah.
pick up what I was putting down.
But yeah, so she gets up to go to the bathroom, and we're kind of stretching our legs, and the cup. I say this. I know I ghost hunt for a living essentially, so but it sounds crazy to me. The cup moved
I'm out.
across, and it was a cardboard box flattened out, so it had like the crease where the corner was,
Right.
right over the crease. And we said, Katie, can you come back?
I would Kool-Aid man right through that wall.
And
Like, I am
it's
good.
crazy. It was very active after that. So, and we were kind of trying to feel out who we were talking to. And then after a while, we're like, you know what? This thing did not move. And now it's claiming to be somebody we know. And we're
Oh,
like,
no.
this is someone's impersonating something. So we're like, you need to leave. Bye. And we like closed it up. Um, a couple weeks after that happened, Katie, the apartment, the girls who apartment it was, things started moving around her apartment, started going
Oh,
missing. And
no.
then like it was really weird. The magnets on her fridge were getting rearranged.
That's the
And it
movies.
was just her and her boyfriend. She ended up moving out because it was getting too weird.
Did it stay there?
I hope so. I never I know. I don't
It's
know
like
what came of that,
you
but
take your crystals, my cross, my crystal, my Saint Michael, and I would carry this with me everywhere I go. People are like, "How are you gonna have a crystal and a cross?" I'm like, "Dude, God made crystals. This is natural. Like, come on.
right.
I'm not.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I'm a little woo woo, but come on, it's fine. You get it."
But yeah, that was probably the only scary thing that happened where I mean, it seemed innocent at first and we are like, oh man, it's really working now. But then we're like, wait, it's really working now.
I'm
So
so glad I probably stayed
yeah,
at the apartment though, like, cause
it didn't follow any of us home. So I
how
was
long
like,
ago was that?
oh my God, that's probably been at least 2 decades ago. I mean,
Damn, you've been doing this for a long time. You probably have stories.
yeah.
You should probably write a book. Everyone that we've had here today needs to write a freaking
Mhm.
book or have a movie.
And I was actually there's a couple books by a local author, Ashley Hood. She's written like the ghost stories of Indiana or Terre Haute, and she's covered all these things. And unfortunately, she passed away
Mm.
a couple of years ago because we were like, we got to have her on the podcast, and found out she had passed away
Oh
a few
no.
years ago. So I was like, oh man, that sucks. But yeah, she's got some books out there, and it talks about the history and the locations all around Terre Haute and in Indiana. So.
Have you ever been to you've been to CVS up here, right? There's like tons
Mhm.
and tons of books on Terre Haute. Is that where you would
Oh,
find it? There's like one of
probably,
those
yeah.
circle racks that you can find every like thing is just filled with Terre Haute books.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's where because we may have found it there or
Okay.
like at a Books a Million or something.
Hmm.
But yeah, her you can definitely find it local. But it's because we actually went to a first annual paranormal convention in Crawfordsville last year. That's going on again this year, and we
Cool.
will be there. And um, it's whoever she published through. They kind of connect with all these different people in Indiana, and there are these little offshoots, I guess, because they have the same cut, not the same, but the same style cover art. Um, but they're published by the same person, so you can find all different cities from that same little publishing company about haunted places.
Oh my
So,
God, I've been so looking forward to sitting down and talking to you about stories. And when you were downstairs, did
mhm.
Reggie fill you in on any of his? Because I know he's going to be on your podcast. He's got like 5 million ghost
He's
stories.
he said he didn't want to give too many spoilers. He did tell me one about someone he saw outside in a hood
Hmm.
that he went to go see what they were up to, and then they were gone and
Hmm.
they were not there.
He also sees like these about this tall. He was
Hmm.
sitting outside having coffee, or he went to the car, something along those lines,
Yeah.
and he saw these little shadows peeking and like running across the street. And I was,
Mm.
I don't see these. I'm okay with not seeing these things. I'll watch the movies, hear the stories,
Uh-huh.
Halloween, all that stuff. But like I've got one really tripped out ghost story, and can I share it with you?
Yes,
All right,
please.
okay.
Yes.
Let me get my pillow all close. All right. So I was in my 20s. I
Mhm.
was sitting at the edge of the bed with my girlfriend.
Mhm.
And she and I were just talking, and all of a sudden I got we went to get up to go into the living room, and something grabs me by my throat.
Oh,
Like this, because there were two hands for sure.
right.
And she praised to good she was right there. She saw this whole thing. It lifted me off the ground, threw me on the bed. and it all happened so quick. I'm in the bed and I'm pushed into the bed so far. It was like the mattress, like it felt like, and I
Oh,
was
no.
holding I couldn't breathe.
Uh-huh.
And I felt like my throat was like out here because when I had my hands on my throat, it was almost like I had my hands over their hands
Yeah, like
because
you
I was
weren't
holding it
touching.
like right here, but I
Uh-huh.
could feel it was so weird and I could not breathe. And I had my arm out and I was reaching for her because she kept on wanting to like run out the door. And I
Mhm.
was at peace with it. I wasn't scared. It was like something in my mind, like a guardian angel or something was like, you're going to be okay. You're going to get through this. It's going to be fine. So I was not scared. I was just freaked out, but I couldn't breathe. But I knew
Right.
it was going to end soon because that's what my guardian angel, in my opinion, was telling me.
Yeah.
So I was holding my hand, not because don't leave me, I'm scared. I was like, don't go, it's gonna be over soon, but I couldn't talk. And
Uh-huh.
just like that, it was done. And nothing ever happened before that or after that ever again.
Was this in your home or was it?
It was in our apartment, yeah.
Oh,
It
weird.
was so weird. It was so and I slept for like 2 days after that.
Oh,
I was so
no.
freaking tired because your adrenaline.
Yeah.
It was like I slept for like
I feel like I'd do th
yeah.
so, like, I'd be awake for a few days.
Oh, lights were on. Lights were on. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even sleep in silence now. Like I have to have a TV on or a fan. I think people who
Mhm.
sleep like if you were quiet right now, that's some serial killer shit. Like, how do you
Yeah.
sleep in silence like that? My brain,
I can't.
I would be like up all night long.
No, I
But
can't
that's
do
my
that.
one and only ghost story. I mean, that's the scary one. Another one that
Uh-huh.
happened, it was really beautiful. I think it might have been my father. I'm not sure. I was laying in bed. I was in my 20s. Everything seems to happen in my 20s. And it was in the middle of the daytime, and I
Mhm.
was getting ready to take a nap, and I heard this boom, like this big like lightning, and
Mhm.
I saw this flash in the corner, and it just happened just really quick. I don't know if it was like my dad going through, just coming through, or maybe going back. I
Yeah.
don't really know, but it was very beautiful,
Mhm.
whatever that was. I
Yeah.
don't even know. I couldn't even tell you.
See, and waking, I've not had experience. I mean, besides what I saw at Ashmore, actually seeing that figure at the end of the
Yeah, that's
stairs. That
crazy.
was, and there was also a light that we saw that went into the elevator shaft. It was just a ball of light that kind of floated around, went in the
Like an
this.
orb kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we went and followed it to elevator shaft and it was gone. And but to see full or experience like a full body apparition or see it or something like that, to feel it, really haven't had that kind of experience. Whether that's good or bad, I don't
I I was
uh,
lucky never to have any experiences there. I was
mhm.
okay. Did you see that one episode? I think the Zach Baggins where Kevin Orpert was on there and he
Yes.
got attacked.
Ashmore,
I
yeah.
want to get him on here. I want to talk to him. I want to hear his stories about that
Oh,
because I mean, he like literally on camera. Didn't he just get? I pretty sure. Don't quote me on this. He
uh-huh.
got attacked. I think he broke a bone.
Yes, he
He
broke
broke a
his
bone,
arm.
right?
Hmm.
I mean, he got beat up by a damn ghost on TV. Like
He's the
really.
guy who went in and said, "I'm kinda just here because I have to
And that
be."
ghost was like, "You want to make a bet? You're gonna be here, and I'm gonna kick your ass all at the same
I mean,
time."
I
Poor
feel like
guy.
it's on YouTube, and I think he had stated, he's not really a believer in it, but he was, it was Halloween. They filmed it around Halloween time, and the next thing you know, he's blacked out, pushed down the stairs,
Dude,
broke his
I would love to
arm.
pick his
Like,
brain about that.
I know I would, it's been so long because what that's been
How long
a
has that been? It's
long
been a
time
hot minute,
ago.
yeah?
Yeah. Um, God, I want to say maybe early 2010s or something, maybe even
I
before
still
that.
think the '90s is 20 years ago.
I
Isn't that
know.
weird?
I know.
God, time goes by too
Oh my
fast.
God.
What's your next adventure?
Oh, geez. Well, we've got the paranormal convention coming up
Mhm.
in Crawfordsville. Unfortunately, because we've traveled pretty much everywhere within like a 60-mile radius, even further than that. Our dumbest drive, I can't believe we did this one day. We found this place that was allegedly haunted up in Mishawaka,
Mhm.
Indiana, which is up by Michigan. And we hopped in the car and drove there and drove back in the same day.
What? That's dedication.
And then as we were leaving the house to drive there, it just started dumping snow. And we're like,
Oh,
"Did we go?"
no.
Yeah, we go. We
You did?
went, yes.
And you going up into Michigan, it was probably a lot more
It just kept
snow.
getting worse. Yeah, yeah. And
What
we
was that trip like? Like, just going into this haunted building, was it free? I'm sure it was freezing.
it was I can't remember what time of year it was. Probably January or something. It was very cold.
Mm-mm.
Um and we did it wasn't snowing and then we looked outside. I'm like, "Is it foggy? Like I'm confused." And then it was just white, a blanket of white
No,
snow.
thanks.
And we made the drive anyway, and I don't
Was
know
it
why
worth
we
it?
did
Did
that.
anything cool happen?
Um, it was okay.
Oh,
That's
no.
terrible. We did do an episode on it. It was, the Hacienda in Mishawaka, which is a restaurant now, but it's in this really old building that they've converted into a restaurant. And so we showed up, we had dinner, and we're like, "Hey, so can we look around and not be weird about it? And so they were all excited. They said, "Oh my God, yeah." And they took us upstairs up and showed us all around. And
Have you been to Moggers?
so Kelsey has worked at Moggers and she had an experience or two there. So she had a little bit of inside work there that we were able to go after hours and actually investigate in the it was later, probably 10 to midnight we got to investigate. So um gosh, that's been a while ago too.
I worked at Moggers off and on for about 13 years, and I was not lucky enough to see anything. My friend, as a
Mhm.
lot of other people did, my friend Jake did. His story went as such. It was like he was a manager. He was getting ready to lock up. And okay, so you know when you walk into the front doors, you've got like the lobby, and then you've got like the
Yeah.
actual. So he was locking up, and he was by himself. He turned the corner to go in there and lock the door, and there
Mhm.
was a woman standing there. And he was like, "Nope." He straight left the building. He was like, "You wanna lock up, you go back in there, Jim Blair, because 'cause I'm not doing it." And I don't blame him. I would have not done it. I just
I've been trying to get into Moggers for a while.
oh,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, I would like, I've known the owners. Of course, we did a lot of stuff with stables when I had the
Mhm.
limo company.
Yeah.
And so I had the idea about doing a podcast down there.
Yeah. Have you
Like,
been
Mhm.
downstairs?
no, that's what I'm saying.
Ooh,
Like,
you gotta
you
I
get
can
can't
down
take
there.
get past the front desk.
but you can
And so
now. I can take you downstairs. It's
I want to talk because like I
okay.
never wanted to feel like I should reach out to them because
Mhm.
they're busy, they're running a business. So I've always tried to be respectful, call like the general manager, like, hey,
Yeah.
I would love to do a podcast down here. I think it'd be super cool.
Yeah.
I can't get anything done there.
If you wanna just go take a peek, I can't get the podcast done there,
Well,
but
yeah,
I could
I would love to go down and check it
dude,
out.
and I will say, even though I've not seen anything, last time I went down there, I did get very heavy in my chest, like really, really heavy to the point where I was like, I felt like there was a balloon in my head. And
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, I'm not as sensitive as Reggie is. In fact, he's 10 times more sensitive as I am. But I was just like, I went back upstairs. I was like, I'm done. I'm out. It was
Yeah,
just
was it
so,
alcohol? Was it
it was like a
Oh, like
prohibition.
Prohibition.
yeah, like
Yeah, with the
bootlegging and
Yeah,
tunnels.
all
there's
that?
tunnels down there
That's
and
what I thought.
everything. It's
Mhm.
so freaking cool. I got you.
Okay.
There, the tunnels. I was told they also go all the way up, like under the Holman Center, and
Yeah.
it's all
Yep.
through Terre Haute.
There's hella tunnels in Terre Haute that I would love to learn more
Oh,
about.
right.
Supposedly there's one under what's the aquarium place or the fish place?
Atlantis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Up
Supposedly
here
there's
by
like
the railroad tracks?
yeah,
Yeah.
supposedly the underneath is a area where the mobsters used to hang out.
Oh, that makes sense.
And
The original
that's
Sin City.
yeah, and so they had a area, like a big open room down there that they would play cards in and hang out in. There was numerous amounts of murders down there, of
Huh.
course. And so
I wanna see that.
yeah,
Well, now I know, and now I
I'm
need
just
to
too
know
afraid
more.
to bring something
again,
home.
I've called. I've yet to
Really?
get in.
So
So
what's the deal? Why are people trepidatious about that, you think?
the owners, it's either it doesn't exist,
Or liability, safety
or the
issues,
liability.
Mhm.
insurance
Yeah,
or
and
whatnot?
owners just don't want to. And probably don't want people trying to break in and get down there.
Mhm.
Once you hear about it, everybody, you guys want to break in.
I
Yeah.
look anymore. I am more afraid of like the actual repercussions of going on to somewhere I'm not supposed to be, or especially if you're going out to like a haunted woods. I'm afraid of the animals. I don't want something
Mhm.
bum rushing me out in the like.
That's fair. That's
That's
fair.
what I'm afraid of. Second to go or first to ghost.
What are, like, the most haunted places in Terre Haute that you've seen?
Um,
Or
let me think. In Terre Haute, the craziest, and I swear by this, the craziest place I've ever been, and I did not expect it was Mill Dam.
for real?
We have gotten some crazy EVPs that I have on my Patreon. You can get for $1 a month.
Okay, did you hear that?
Yeah, if you donate to our Patreon, we've got our EVPs on there. But I mean, I can tell you what they say, but you have to hear it to believe it. Because there have been a couple people who've actually died out there.
I
There was a boy who drowned. They went to go swim after like some flooding, and he got caught in the undercurrent and never came back up.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it was horrifying. I think it took 13 hours for them to get his body back up. So,
That's terrible.
yeah, that just don't go near flooded waters, you guys. Like that is crazy. Why would you do that?
Exactly.
But we went and did an investigation. Didn't expect much, only because, I mean, with the running water, we're like, I don't even know if the voice recording is even going to be that great. But at one point, I can't remember what I was asking exactly, but I had my voice recorder. My sister and her girlfriend are off by themselves doing their thing. And I asked something, and in between me asking the question, I took a break, and you hear somebody say, "I'm so cold." And it's so clear. I
Oh,
mean, I can't
do you
make
think it was
this
a little
up.
boy?
Maybe. So we got 2 or 3 EVPs, but that one is probably the most damning. I mean, clear as day. You hear, "I'm so cold," and it's just this whisper, and it's very raspy. And
That's where I get confused. Like, are you afraid of death?
yes, I
What
am
What are you
actually.
afraid of?
I think it's just the unknown. I get so existential. Like if I sit there and think about what's going to happen, because I just assume the world's going to stop. Obviously, if I'm gone,
Of
people can't
course.
keep going on without
Duh.
me. So I think it's just, and maybe it's not. Now that I'm saying out loud, maybe it's not that I'm scared of what's going to happen to me, but what's going to happen to the people I leave behind. Maybe that's
That's
it.
exactly.
I've
That's
never said that out loud, and I
it's
think that just hit me.
brought everything into perspective.
It
Yeah,
did.
I'm definitely I'm not afraid to die. I'm not afraid to die at all. I
Really.
feel horrible for the people that I leave behind, of
Yeah.
course. Same. But like I'm not afraid of what's going to happen to me after. I feel that I'm a genuinely good person, and I feel like I make God, Jesus, Yahweh, whatever you want to say,
Yeah.
proud. I really do. And
Hmm.
I'm a good person, but I do get confused about a couple things when I say I'm not afraid of dying that make me start questioning that lack of fear.
Hmm.
This little boy that died, that drowning,
Yeah.
why isn't he just straight up in heaven? Why is he floating around like I'm so cold? Like
So this
why is
is
he in
where
limbo?
because obviously I work for a church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the stuff I want to question.
Hmm.
So obviously the scriptures that we have that we live by, to be absent from the body is to be present from the Lord. That's what the scripture says.
Hmm.
But then in Hebrews, what a lot of people leave out in Hebrews 12, it talks about a cloud of witnesses that encourage the people who are running the race still this day. So
Hmm.
when you get into the cloud of witnesses, is that who we're talking to? Then you get into your demonic realm. Then you get
Hmm.
all these different people. So my personal opinion, I do believe we go straight up.
What's the witnesses? What do you mean?
Yeah, so Hebrews 12:1, I believe, is what it is. It goes into depth about here. Let me pull it up, but it literally just goes into depth. It's the cloud of witnesses is concept of Hebrews 12:1. It refers to the faithful individuals from the Old Testament, like those listed in Hebrews 11, who lived extreme lives in faith now. Um, in some sense, they believe that they encourage the people who are now running the race. So
When you say run the race, what is that?
so the scripture says to run the good race, right?
Hmm.
Your
Just live
life
your
is
life. Got,
your race,
got
right?
it.
Yeah.
So Paul expresses a lot. Like I've ran the race. I finished the race. Well,
I've lived my
Okay.
life. It's time.
yes.
Got it.
So we're running our race. Everybody's running their own race, right?
Hmm.
And so the cloud of witnesses encouraging them. How do you become? Does everybody get to be a part of the cloud of witnesses? Right? Because what I always believe is either angels or demons, right?
Hmm.
Us as people, we go straight up. That's it.
Hmm.
But now you get into this and you're like, hold on.
There's a gray, and I'm so black and white now that there's
Yes.
this gray area.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's so few things to me that have a gray area. It's
And there's
very
never
confusing.
the
Mhm.
Bible. I always tell people it's not a dictionary. It is
Right.
not like you have to understand everything. It's information. You know what I mean? And so,
Yeah.
what does that mean? So I'm curious when I meet people like you who are
Mhm.
really involved in this.
Hmm.
Explain that. Like I'm so.
How does that make you
How
feel
does that
about
work?
faith? And yeah,
And it makes you wonder, like, why do people choose to stick around? Or because I believe in the paranormal. Obviously, I
yeah,
do these things, and residual energy and spirits, and you get spirits who are stuck in a loop. Sort of, they're just constantly experiencing whatever it is that happened to them over and over, which can be incredibly depressing when you think
yes,
about it.
that's what makes me so sad.
So, with a situation like this boy, I wonder if it happened so fast, and so before he had time to even process what was happening, so he's just stuck or lost and like in this constant loop of like, I don't know what just happened. I was
Yeah,
here and
that's
then
where
I
I get
wasn't
confused.
here.
Because I'm like, why doesn't God? Why don't they like snatch him and be like, okay,
Right.
you
It's
don't know where
like
to go, but I got you. I'm the light. That's where I just
that
like,
they're tethered they're holding on to something. I wonder because he was a young guy. I mean, I believe
yeah,
he was a teenager. Um, but with all this life ahead of him, but because then you start to get into like when infants pass away or stillbirth, like why don't they stay around? And but
it's so many questions.
you're right, and it's like, is it because he had some time to actually tie himself to things here on this earth before he left, and then it was just ripped away so suddenly that he doesn't want to let those things go?
I always say that death is going to be a beautiful thing death is a beautiful thing for the person that passes.
Hmm.
It just sucks for everybody being left behind. But then stuff like this comes up, and I start to question my own beliefs,
Hmm.
which I think is religion as a whole or spirituality as a whole anyway. You have to ask questions because nobody knows.
Right.
Nobody
It's
knows.
so
That's why
much unknown.
everybody's got their opinions and everyone's got their faith base and stories or, and that's why nobody's right or wrong, really,
Hmm.
unless you're just saying that everybody, goes to hell, which is terrible.
I grew up in the church. I mean, I was in deep. I did Bible school. I went to church camp. I went
Hmm.
for several years. I mean, I still have really good friends that I keep in touch with even still today. But I ended up getting out of the church as like actively going to church several years ago. Um, and I think it's because it started getting so doom and gloom as you got older and got out of that children's church. Now you're in the adult church and you're told you're a bad person, you're going to hell, like unless you do all of these things this exact way. And it was traumatizing for me as someone who very easily slips into these existential crises. If I think too hard about it, I was like, I don't like being told every day that I'm going to die and it's going to be painful and awful. And
Yeah, that's
I don't
not
like that. So,
who is any human being to say that? Yeah, I just
right.
don't feel like any human being has the right to say you're going to. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't
Yes.
make any
So
sense.
organized religion kind of got out of that, but it doesn't mean that I don't believe in
I think
something.
church is where you make church. Like,
Hmm.
um, God is with me. That's like outside is my church. This could be my church, but I'm sitting downstairs. I am reading this book about Mary Magdalene right now. That
Hmm.
is my church, learning about like the feminism in religion,
Yeah.
and that's how I go to church, and I talk to God every single day, multiple times.
But that's really interesting about that. Because when I think of women in the Bible, they're usually doing something bad and
Well,
they're being
that's the thing.
punished.
Mary Magdalene has been written like basically written out of history, and
Hmm.
she was not a whore. She was not a prostitute,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Yeah.
The thing is that any woman that was strong got written out by the Catholic Church because the fathers didn't
Yeah.
want the women to be strong.
Hmm.
I'm still learning. This
Yeah.
is just what I'm reading. I don't know.
I know.
Who the
I
fuck
speak out
knows?
of ignorance. I know.
Oh, I like that. That's true.
So,
I'm learning. I love having conversations with people about
mhm,
what they know about just about any topic. Doesn't even matter.
yeah.
But I guess my question, a roundabout question, is: so
Hmm.
knowing all of this, these things that you've seen, the things that you've studied,
Hmm.
how has that changed your thought about religion at all? Or
I think so. I think it's just opened my eyes to more concepts. Again, it's not black and white. It's not,
yeah,
I don't know if when it's over you just blip out and it's gone and there's nothing here, and that scares me. It's the unknown that scares me.
yes,
So, and I think the more I get into the paranormal and looking into these types of things, that it honestly makes me a little more nervous because I'm like, oh God, there's so much I don't take into consideration or
yeah, like
that.
being stuck, like
Yeah,
that gray area. Like
right.
that's like as I was saying a second ago. Like with me, everything's very black or white. But with this gray area, that's such a major gray area. It's like that makes me question my beliefs of everything's be great when I die because I'm a good person. It's be fine.
Right. I'm gonna be
Lights,
old. I'm gonna go to bed,
unicorns,
and
rainbow.
that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it's
I
gonna
want to sleep and fall asleep and not wake up. That'd be the perfect way to go
right.
when I'm 120. Not
Right.
anytime soon.
Science is gonna keep me here forever.
Okay, it will freeze my body. I don't give a damn. That's fine.
No, you know what? I My great grandma was 93 when she passed away, and every day she woke up and was like, God, why am I still
She's
here?
like, really, dude?
She
What's the
did.
point?
Oh, we loved holidays. She's like, well, this is my last one, and we're like, Grandma,
You said that
can we
40
just enjoy
times.
Easter, please?
Grandmas
Please.
get kind of dark, don't they?
Please.
They do. They get really dark.
And I know when she finally said it for the last time and it was true, we're like, I bet you're happy.
So that was like a real celebration of life because
Oh,
she was ready to be on the other side,
it was
right?
sad. And because I mean, she was such a big part of my life growth. She passed away when I was 16.
Hmm.
And the only thing I regret is that I was 16 and not a little bit older to appreciate her stories or to ask her questions about.
I
I mean,
get
she was
that.
born in 1915. She lived
Wow.
through so much and she outlived her parents, all of her siblings, her children. Yeah, everyone passed away. And so it was just her at the
Wow.
end. So, and she was the oldest of all of the children.
How
And
many were there?
seven. I want to say she was
Yeah.
the oldest of seven or eight. But and this is the thing where I've never really seen anything in waking, but I did have a dream about her one time, and she didn't say anything, but I know it was. And actually, the night that she passed away, it was in the middle of the night, and she was at a nursing home, and the nursing home called at like 2 or 3 in the morning to let us know she passed. I had woken up. I don't know. I thought maybe I heard something. I'm not really sure what woke me up. And I was living with my parents at the time. And my twin sister and I shared a bedroom, and it was like an L shape. So I couldn't see her when I woke up. But I got up to go to the bathroom and I look over and she's sitting up in bed. And I said, "Why are you awake?" She said, "I don't know." So we both got up and went downstairs, and the telephone rang as we were walking downstairs. And that's when they called and said she had passed. So it was very weird. I don't know.
That sounds like maybe she was spoken to. Maybe she was
Kind
told
of,
something.
yeah,
That's
maybe. And I ended up having a dream about her later. And again, she didn't say anything, but she just showed up in my dream and then was gone.
the people that have passed away in my life that are
Mhm.
super close to me have always come to me in a dream.
Really?
Yeah, when my dad didn't come to me until 8 years after his demise.
Yeah.
And he still to this day, I can't like decode what he was trying to tell me.
Mhm.
So this is what happened. So we're in a parking garage and my dad's facing me and behind him is a wall of mirrors so I can see myself and his back. I don't know what the relevance is to that.
Mhm.
And he looks at me and he goes, "I want you to know I've known since you were a little girl. My dad died of cancer.
Mhm.
Like it took him up quick. He died in like 3 weeks, 4 weeks."
Oh, wow.
And I was like, he's like, "I want you to know I've known since you were a little girl." And I remember holding him, crying, "I can't do this without you." I was daddy's girl. "I miss you so much. I miss you so much." And he had to push me out, like to wake me up. And I sat up in my bed sobbing.
Oh,
And to this day, I have no idea what that message is.
huh.
What are you trying to tell me?
I got into dream interpretation for a while
Hmm.
there, because growing up, I had a lot of recurring dreams, recurring nightmares,
Oh no.
and finding out later that mostly recurring dreams is usually stress induced. There's something changing in your life or a constant stressor in your life that's bringing this on. And I found this out later. But yeah, I would be curious to know because everything, I mean, anything you see that really stands out in the dream, like the mirrors, definitely has to have some sort of
I
symbolism.
know, right?
I'm curious what that
I
would
don't
be
think
I
I'll.
myself.
just looked it up.
Yeah.
So it says mirrors and dreams are highly symbolic, often reflecting the dreamer's inner self. They can signify a need for self-reflection.
That makes
See, and it
sense.
makes sense when you say it out loud.
It does. It
Yeah.
totally does. Yes.
It also goes on to say, or a confrontation with hidden emotion or aspects of yourself.
Okay, now that I can relate to because my biggest regret to this my
Oh, no.
fuck.
It's okay.
My biggest regret to this day is that I wasn't there when he died because I was in such denial that he was
Mhm.
going to pass that I went back to college
Oh,
and he died the next day and my grandma never fucking let me live that down. You should have
man.
been there. You should have been there. It's my biggest regret. It makes me sick, like to my stomach.
That's crazy
But
that she would hold that
she
against
did
you.
not like me. I was
Mm,
wisely. I was not. She didn't. She was not. I was not her favorite person. And she bought my cousins like bikes for Christmas
mhm,
and matching outfits and didn't get me anything. I remember that one year. It
mm.
was tragic, but I mean, my cousins don't see it the way that I do because they're court rights, so they have the different. It's a whole
They don't
thing.
have those memories.
No,
They didn't see
they
that
have
happening.
I've never had a grandmother. My
Mhm.
mom's mom, I met her a couple times and she was cookies. Like she was great,
Yeah,
but I only met her a couple times. So I never had
yeah.
that grandparent experience.
Mhm,
But yeah, that's and I don't know if I don't know what my dad was trying to tell me. Like I know that he probably wouldn't have wanted me there,
mhm.
but that doesn't matter. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So did you ever get any messages in your dreams or anything like that? Like have you ever tried to talk to a deceased loved one?
I've not tried to, but there's only been, besides my grandma, there was one other experience where I had a friend who died by suicide last year, and very close to him. They were, my husband and I, we were just a couple friends that had known each other for a
I'm
long
so
time.
sorry. That's
Yeah,
terrible.
I mean, and I did not realize. I knew he battled depression and for to an extent, but I did not realize after speaking to his partner that he had attempted it a few times and had just constantly had that struggle, that that darkness that
Mhm.
he just couldn't shake. And a lot of changes in his life that I led up to it, I suppose, in a way. And um, I mean, I was close to him. He was one of one of my good friends, and I didn't anticipate anything from it. It did hit me pretty hard because I got the phone call as we were finishing up an episode recording the podcast, and I saw my phone ring. I was like, "I'll get it in a minute. We're doing our closing.
Right.
I'll be done." But then it just kept ringing and ring, and I was like, Okay, so we
That
rushed that this
sinky
time.
feeling.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was like, something's not right. So, and my husband called to tell me, and I was just shocked. I didn't even know what to say. Like, I kept telling, I was like, no, he's not. Like, no, no. And it, I don't know. I almost feel like, and this is such a selfish thing on my part. I almost feel like I didn't get the closure either because he did chose to be cremated. So there wasn't like that goodbye that you get at the
My father
funeral.
was
And
cremated, so it's like I didn't get to see him in the casket. I don't know if that
yeah.
was good or bad because if that's the case, nobody that loves me is going to get closure when I pass away in 180 years because I'm going to be cremated. I don't want a plaque.
Uh-huh.
I don't want anything.
Hmm.
So it's like I want to figure out a way for my loved ones to have some kind of closure, like a not a party that's kind of tacky, but like
A
a
celebration.
celebration. You know,
Hmm.
everyone get together, tell some stories about how big of a dork I was or
Yeah.
whatever, the good, the bad,
Yeah.
the ugly,
Yeah.
and then maybe that'll help. But I totally
Yeah.
get that. There's something about cremation that you don't. Some people don't get that closure.
And it's definitely for the living. I mean, that's like I said, it's a selfish thing on my part to be like, well, I didn't get to see him one last time, and it's like, well, did you want to see him
It's love. It comes from a
in
loving place.
in that state? But totally not expecting anything, spiritual or paranormal, if you will, to come from it. But I did have a dream about him,
You
and it
did.
was it was really odd when I woke up because I can't remember what was happening, but he just showed up in my dream and said, "It's okay," and that's all he said. And I was like,
That is beautiful.
so
Now, to me, that
weird.
is proof of the other side. That is proof of God.
Yeah.
That is proof of universe. But I don't
Hmm.
even know. Like I don't know what it
Yeah.
is, but it's a beautiful thing.
I mean, he was my husband's one of his best friends. That was the guy he talked to all the time. Even when they moved states away, they ended up moving to Georgia for a few years. We would drive to Georgia a couple times a year and stay with them for a few days. Like we tried to at least keep in contact that way, not just through text and social media, but we made the
That takes
attempt to go
effort. That
down
takes
there.
effort to be
Yeah.
maintain a friendship, especially with
Oh
social
yeah.
media,
Yeah.
because social media makes it so easy. But actually going and seeing them, that's
Yeah.
where the memories are made.
And I know it hit my husband very hard.
Oh, I'm
He had
sure.
a really hard time with it, and I don't know if he truly, because yes, I was close to him, but I don't know if he came in my dream to me or for me to pass it along
Did he
to
come to your
John.
husband in a dream, John?
I don't think, not that he's told. If he has, he's not shared it, and
Okay,
if that's a personal thing, I understand that.
for
But
sure.
yeah, I don't know if it was meant for me or if it was because I think John was in denial about it too. So I don't know if he came to me, if John wasn't open to it, was like, "Can you tell him it's cool?"
Did
Like,
that give you peace?
it did. I felt a little bit better. It was just an odd to wake up and know that I experienced that. I was like, I did not expect him to come to me,
My
So,
my sister in law is my oldest brother and his family. They are Jehovah's Witness.
mhm.
Um, they believe that when you die, that's curtains. It's just black. And I'm like, okay, that's fun.
Depressing.
That's
Yeah.
that's depressing. And I don't believe that at all.
Mhm,
My brother and I bump heads really, really badly whenever we talk about religion.
mhm.
Um, but what happened with my sister-in-law, she was a beast, dude. Like I've known her my whole life. Like there wasn't a time in my life that my sister-in-law wasn't in my life. Because my brothers are a lot older than I am. They were born and raised in like London, like
Oh.
stuff like that. So, anyways, she came to me in a dream, and she had long black hair, chiseled just face, and just beautiful, like 6 foot.
Statuous.
Yes, she was gorgeous, and like she was so strong. And due to her religion, she couldn't accept blood, and she
Mhm.
had major, 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 major health issues. And
Oh,
she got
man.
through every one and bounced back like a boss, the boss that she was.
Uh-huh.
But finally, her body had taken its toll,
Mhm.
and she died at home. And she came to me in a dream about a few weeks later, and she didn't say anything to me, like you mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
but we were in like this big party, and she had lost all of her hair. She didn't have cancer, but she had lost all of her hair, medication and so on.
Mhm.
And she had in the dream she had her long black hair back, and
Mhm.
she had her tan skin, and she walked into this party, and she had a black leather jacket on. She was taller than everybody. She looked back at me, and I looked back at her, and she was smiling at me, and I
Mhm.
can hear her voice. She wasn't moving her mouth, but I can hear her voice,
Yeah.
and I don't remember what she was saying, something like it's okay or hi there, something like that.
Yeah.
And that was, to me, that was a beautiful thing, and I posted about it,
Mhm.
and I tried to tell my family, my brother and niece about it, and they were just like, "No." I love my family. But that to me is just some cold, like some whole, like closed-minded shit, dude. Like that is like really like I can go on. It pissed me off so bad. I was like, "You're not gonna ruin this for me." Like Cindy came to me in a dream. She's
Mhm.
in a beautiful place. She's not in black. She's not
Right.
in blackness. In my opinion, I'm probably gonna piss off people, but that's fine.
Yep.
That's not what I believe happens, and maybe
Mhm.
that's my own comfort. But I guess I'll find out when I die what it's all about, and
Right.
I'll let you know because I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'll be back. I'm the
I'll make an
haunter.
appearance,
No.
don't you worry. Right. I'll be here.
Exactly. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah.
But yeah, she didn't say anything. I get that.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe I mean, what do you say? You know, if I don't know what I would have wanted her to say, would I have forced it in my head like I wanted her to say something to me, but to just show up and be like, "Hey," and
Isn't
leave.
that beautiful?
Yeah.
Did that give you some kind of closure?
Yeah, and again, hate that I was just so young. I was 16, 17 when this happened, and as I got older, I was like, God, I just so much missed opportunity to get to know her the way I wish I could have.
Do you get to ask any of your family members stories that can tell you
Oh
these
yeah.
answer these
Yeah.
questions?
See, a lot of my mom's side of family, she had a much larger family than my dad did, and thankfully they were able to pass down a lot of the stories. And when my family, we love rehashing stories over and over every time we
Yeah,
get together.
they're good
So
stories.
they are, but they're funny, and they're sad, and they're sweet. And I know that because I'm like, I remember hearing these stories at family get-togethers, and I'm like, God, I'm never gonna have like cool stories like that. But now that I'm in my 30s and creeping
You've
up, I'm
already
like,
made some stories,
I got some
girlfriend.
stories.
Like
Yeah. And it's not even my there's one story that I mean, like peeing my pants laughing every time I hear it. It's not even me that it happened to. It happened to my sister and my dad
what?
is their near-death experience at
Oh,
the car wash.
what the car wash?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what happened.
So we have this really old, awful Blazer, Chevy Blazer that the air didn't work in it. But my dad, being a dad's dad, was like, we have to go to the car wash. So, I don't know if everyone else's dad is like that, where he's always mowing the lawn, going to the car wash, or working on something in the garage.
That's
I don't know.
funny.
So he's like, we're going to the car wash. We're going to polish this turd. And it's the Chevy Blazer. And not thinking about it, but when they start to pull in, it's over 100 degrees, like almost 200-degree heat and water and all this. And as the water starts pouring onto the car, he's like, it's kind of hot in here. And then goes to turn the air on. He's like, there's no air.
Oh
So
no.
now it's blowing in like 200-degree air. They're just pouring
You're
sweat.
like in a microwave at this point.
I think Kelsey was like 18 or 19, and they were out running errands, and she's just
Oh.
drowning in sweat. And she looks at my dad and goes, Dad, I'm scared. And he said, it's going to be okay. But like, he had put his hand on the window button, and he tells his story, and it's funny. He's like, in my head, I thought if I pass out, I'm going to fall on the window button, and it's going
Oh my god.
to save us. He's told her it's okay. And then he's like, it's not okay.
That is such a dad thing to do.
So as soon as they get out, they like throw the doors open and they're gasping for
Oh
air
my
because you're just having this heat blown in your face. And it was like the longest 60 seconds of my life.
That would be the longest 60 seconds of
To
your
go
life.
through the car wash. And I'm sure everyone standing around was like, what is going on?
Why are they on the ground?
They just jump out of the car before it's in park, just gasping for air.
I can totally see how that story would never get old. That's
No,
for every
so
family reunion.
I told my dad when he first told this story, I was like, why don't we have a near-death experience?
Like, I want to do this
when's
experience with you, Dad. I
ours?
want to have that bonding moment with you.
Yeah, but stories
That
like
trauma
that,
bond.
I realize when I'm like, oh, we don't have any fun stories. We do. It's just
Yeah.
they're happening right now, and I don't realize until after the fact.
Exactly. You don't really appreciate those things until after they
Yeah.
come and go.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to give you the fan because I know it's getting up.
Oh, thanks.
I know, I'm over-
I started getting all worked up with the car
Oh,
wash story.
It's warm up
Thinking
here.
about that 200-degree water just hitting you in the face.
Well, it's like 115 degrees outside. That's why we have the house on 62. When you come upstairs, heat rises. It gets warm.
I am grateful. When I walked in, I was like, oh, thank God.
Oh yeah, I'm like I have hot
Keep your
flashes.
terrariums. I don't want your
Okay.
75.
Thank you. That's why I have this bad boy up here. From like episode 1, I'm like, you listen, I'm hot all the time. I have hot flashes.
I am not
It's warm
built
up
for
here.
this.
This hat's made of fucking wool. I'm dying, but it's cute.
Can't
that
take it
pain
off
is
now. There's a
beauty.
lot going on.
Oh, my hair will be like matted to my head, like a line across my big forehead. No, I'm good.
Yeah, no, I was not built for this weather. It was not.
Unless I'm by a body of water or in the body of water, I'm not trying to
Yes.
be in the heat.
Nope. not
I
at all.
have a couple one more question for you really quick.
Yeah.
So that story about the cup across the board.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, was that the scariest thing that's ever happened to you?
No, it wasn't.
Okay,
I think
I'm gonna buckle in.
the scariest thing, and it wasn't even. I was there for it. Okay, here's why it's scary.
Okay.
So my sister and I, we investigated the Rockville prison. That it
Oh,
was.
shit.
They turned it into like a hotel. You could actually rent the cells and sleep in a cell.
No, thanks.
And we rented the room. We showed up. We were the only ones, and we told her what we were doing, and she's like, "Oh, you can go wherever you want. I don't care."
You
She's
had
like,
free reign of
"Yeah,
the
free range
entire
of the
place?
entire building."
What? Okay.
And the upstairs, the very top was actually her home, but they were staying in a cabin or something that
Wait,
weekend.
she
So
lives on top of that place?
yes, yeah.
No.
So and it sold actually. She doesn't own it anymore. They sold it in the last year or so. But we stayed there and it was cool at first until like we went lights out and then we're like, oh, now it's kind of creepy in here. But we were investigating going up into the different cells, checking out because there was a fire in one of the cells. So we went up there and did like a EVP session, see if we could get anything. We were using the Ouija board. We tried a little bit of everything. And we're like, we're getting kind of freaked out. So
Yeah.
let's go downstairs and decompress because there's like that little lobby area where it's got a TV and a kitchenette. And like, let's just go decompress for a minute. So we turned all the lights on. We turned on some sitcom just to like get clear the air and calm ourselves down a little
Yeah.
bit. And
Make some noise.
Kelsey goes back into the kitchenette to get a drink or a snack or something. And I'm sitting out in the lobby in a chair. And then
Did she
Kelsey,
say I'll be right back?
shy probably, she comes back in and she looks very concerned. And I said, is everything good? She said, did you just try to come get me? And I said, no, I'm been
I've
sitting
been
right
here.
here. I was like, I didn't want to move because I was freaked out from checking out the rest of the building. I was like, I've
Yeah.
been sitting here watching TV. And she was in the kitchenette getting something and she turned and looked in the doorway and I was looking in and then stepped back.
An impersonator?
And she said it was me.
Imposter? What do they call that?
Yeah, like
The
a
ghosts that can impersonate you? Those are like the creepiest ones, aren't they?
yeah, it was, I don't know what
There's a
that,
word I've seen on the movies.
oh, and it's not like a mimic. It's wow, why has it?
It'll hit. It'll happen.
I
As
know
soon
he's
as you
looking it
leave, you'll
up.
be like, text me, like, listen.
But yeah, she said, I mean, clear, solid. It was me. I looked in the kitchen at her and then just stepped back. And
How did
I
that
had no expression on my face.
how did that make you feel knowing that you got impersonated?
It freaked
Did
me
that
out.
creep you out, right?
And so both of us just sat in the lobby area, like not moving for a while. And we're like,
I'd have been sitting my ass in the car, moving fast.
yeah, that was, I'm trying to think. I know that was a scary one for her because she actually saw it, but
That's
to know that there
freaky.
was someone walking around looking like me
That's
was
eerie. That's
kinda
definitely scary.
Um, oh, let me think. Have we got? Are we looking it up? I thought maybe he's looking up what it's called. It's totally escaped me what that would be called. But it's another scary experience I've had. Oh, Ashmore was
That's
scary.
pretty freaking scary.
Yeah, we were walking from the third floor down to the second floor and we had flashlights. Again, we didn't have the smartphones but you want a flashlight anyway because it was super dark. And everyone had gotten ahead of me and I was kind of straggling along behind. I was walking down the stairs with my little flashlight. They had turned the corner, so it was just me. My flashlight blew up in my hand, like the back of it went up the stairs. The light went down the stairs, and I was
That's
just
some serious energy.
I was in the stairwell by myself with no light, and I said, "Come back!" Like I was yelling at them. Um, and
Oh
then
my god, I don't even have words for that.
no,
That's
I did.
freaking
I
terrifying.
had to show them. I was like, it didn't because they're like, did your flashlight die? I said, it's in pieces. I don't know how to explain
Are you
it.
someone who freezes when they get totally freaked out, or do you bolt?
It depends on what is freaking me out.
That's fair.
Because we went out to a haunted woods. I can't remember which one it was, but it has something called the Devil's Chair there. That it's like a stump that kind of looks like a chair, and they say you can hear a baby crying. There's a story about a woman who lost her baby, and she's out there like cradling it, and you can hear them. And
That's terrible.
right, and I was like, that's super sad. Not expecting anything from it at all. And we go out there and we're all standing there in silence and we heard some like distant gunshots and we're like, well, that's not good. And we were getting ready to turn and head back and a baby starts crying.
Shut your face.
I ran then.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm out the door. I think there'd be lightning coming out of my
I
ears.
never ran so, but then it only for a second, because then we stopped and like, there's a logical I mean, even though we're going and looking for the paranormal, I said there has to be a logical explanation because you want it to make sense. You want to make sense
Make
of
it
what's
make
happening.
sense. Yeah.
And so the stories of hearing a baby crying out there, 100% true, but we found out the trees out there, the type of tree, it's so thin and tall. When they sway in the wind, it sounds like a baby crying. I mean,
What?
clear as day.
That's weird.
So, I mean, thankfully we were, but then, and here's kind of a theory we play off of on the podcast a lot. We're like, okay, so people say you hear a baby crying. It's really just the wind in the trees. But what who's to say that that's not energy and spirits manipulating what they have around them to communicate? They don't have the energy to show themselves to you or to make a sound on a voice recorder, but what do they have at their disposal? They have nature.
Yes.
So what's stopping them from using the wind and the trees to
So
communicate?
what one person's like Trump would be like Trump the whole like this never happened like
Yeah,
their logic behind it
yeah.
can be another
I
person's reason for why this is real
We
life, why
kind
that
of play
actually
this,
happened.
yeah, this other possibility that who's to say that isn't the way they communicate, that they're just using what they have at their disposal.
I
They don't have
could
enough.
I could kind of chime in there
Yeah.
Yeah.
to say I believe that
Hmm.
because I mean, again, for me, I put everything into like I have to understand. So we take it back.
Hmm.
We see Jesus calming the storm, the winds and the waves,
Hmm.
right? We see God showing up in the burning bush.
Yeah.
You see those kind of. So why can't that happen? You
Right.
know what I mean? So that's been recorded as has happened.
Yeah.
So I agree 100%. I've said that for years is because it says Jesus stepped up and said, "Be still." Why would he? Who's he talking to?
Right.
Why wouldn't he just put his hands out and be calm? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I feel like
That's
that
another see?
wind. So kind of coming into my beliefs, I can back
Hmm.
that up because I think that's 100% true.
Yeah.
That does make
I do.
sense.
I think we've seen, and there's been other instances I can't think of at the top of my head that um, where something has happened and we're like, well, now we were asking for something. And then this force of nature, if you will, happened right after we asked for something, or, we're looking for something and then it happens and we're like, well, that was a weird coincidence. Was it?
Yeah,
So,
I'm starting to add the older I get, I don't know how much I believe in coincidences. I think that
mhm.
yeah, I think I'm with you on that for sure.
Yeah. So we try to use that logic too. Like, yes, I understand there are going to be we've gone to plenty of places that there's nothing there. I mean, we felt nothing, we heard nothing, experienced nothing, and it's kind of a bust. It never Sometimes we do allow it onto the podcast because we want to show people that even though we're out here looking for paranormal experiences, just because something looks creepy and sounds creepy doesn't mean there's anything weird there.
Exactly. So you're not going to make everything into something that it's not.
Hmm.
I honor you for that.
Yeah.
That's
Thanks.
big. So I uh ITV came and did a sizzle for they wanted to do a TV show with my family years
Hmm.
ago for A&E. And
Right.
the the team that came out was the team who did Ghost Hunters.
Hmm.
And I
I
love
was
Ghost
going to tell her
Hunters.
this story.
Go ahead. I'll
No, no,
tell the
no, you
story.
do it. No, you do. It's your
It's so
you
true.
do you, baby.
I was so excited because I mean I watched the show, was super excited. And I told them like, tell me your scariest parts. And they're like,
Right.
the scariest parts are all the sound machines we set up, the trip wires, and it's all fake. And I was so
Don't meet your
devastated.
heroes. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
was
such
so
a
devastated.
bummer.
I'm like, that was my show.
Yeah.
And it was all completely fake.
We had talked to
That is a
people
bummer.
who have met some of the bigger ghost hunting groups like Zach Bagans
I
and
was
stuff.
going to say his name. I think
Yes.
everybody knows. Everybody's called him out by now. Everyone knows he's
And
bullshit.
he's not a good guy. And we stayed at a place in Atlanta, Indiana. I want to say, yeah, it's a
Really?
weird little town. What is that place called? Oh my gosh, it's escaped me. Asher Walton House. That's where we went. And the guy who owns it, he had met Zach Bagans. He's friends with or has connections with Nick Groff from the show.
Hmm.
And he introduced him to Zach. And he said, he went to shake his hand, and Zach just looked at him and said, should I know you?
You're the one that told me that story.
Yes.
Yeah, whenever
And he was so
I used to
taken
do her
aback,
hair,
like,
and you told me that. Yeah, like what a dick.
yeah, and he said, I mean, no, I'm just introducing myself.
Who
And
were you,
Zach's like,
Bagans?
cool, okay, and like walked away.
Ugh,
And
that
I'm
guy is such a fool.
but he talked about, getting to peek behind the curtain, which sometimes, a lot
You
of the
never want to
times,
meet your
yeah,
heroes,
you
if you
don't
will.
want to,
Yeah.
because he's like, they're not there one night, they're there for a week. They pick some stuff that could look scary, sound scary, and they try to manipulate the best they can if they have nothing. Because it's like when you go to a place and if you get one or two things at an overnight investigation, that's great. Because I feel like the TV shows really set you up for failure because you're expecting just constant.
That's what I was going to
And
ask you. Yeah.
they'll get a hotel and they'll be there for days trying to get stuff. Um, and then sometimes they can use it, and sometimes even after days of investigating, they leave with nothing.
Have you heard about this Annabelle doll that they're like taking on tour?
Yes.
And people like
And
creepy things have been happening in
Ridiculous.
every city. That's
the
happening.
guy
It's like
died
what? Yeah,
who's
it's like
been
one of the
touring with.
yeah. He just died like mysteriously.
Yeah, I don't know. They said it didn't have anything to do with the doll. I was like, that sounds like something the doll would say. It did. I was like, okay.
Oh, that's just creepy. I don't know, but I will. What was that name of that horror movie? Really quick, The Witchcraft.
Oh, Witchboard?
Witchboard. You're gonna have to
Mhm.
text me that because I'll forget it.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I forget so easily. And now, before we wrap things up, there's
Mhm.
something over there I keep looking at. What is that?
Yes, yes, I'm glad. I
What
just
did
put my hand
you
on and touched it.
What
So
did
that's
you
right.
do?
I did. I brought you a gift.
Christmas. This is so
Yes.
nice. Thank you.
Yeah. A
Aw,
little something from one podcaster to another.
I love
So
stuff.
you got
So I need to
stickers
invite
in
you
there
on our
too?
podcast next.
Yeah.
Oh, I
A
got
little bit of
t-shirts.
merch.
Or so,
Yes.
when did you got merch? I'm so
I
proud of
did.
you.
Yeah, we
Look at
made that
this. Can you
ourselves.
see? Or so they say. It's my girl's
Mhm.
podcast
Yeah.
right there.
Our design, we made it
baby.
ourselves.
What is up?
Hi. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
This is
and
so
there's some
nice.
stickers in there too.
Ooh, stickers. I'll
And
put them on my
yeah, I don't know if
car.
yours. I didn't bring my water. I'm a sticker person. My water bottle.
I have a water bottle the size of my leg, dude. Thank you. Ah, look.
So you got a bunch of little stickers in there too.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Do you
Yeah.
have any advice for future paranormal investigators? Did I say that right? Paranormal,
Paranormal.
investigators?
Yeah, I would say. Just be open to the experience, but be safe. Keep yourself safe because you definitely, as much as you want to experience something, you don't want to bring something back with you.
Right.
So, in your desperation to find something paranormal, don't set yourself up.
Don't let your guard down.
Yes, yeah. And it's okay. It's okay to walk away from places with nothing because we've done that several times. And sometimes we'll go back and because we're like, something's there. It's just,
Yeah. It wasn't
it's
ready, maybe? Or
right. Or it didn't want to show itself to us. We need to like more make ourselves more of a presence that they want to approach. But yes, because sometimes you're going to get residual hauntings where it's just on a loop. So if you're going at 2 a.m. and they say, well, paranormal stuff happens at noon, you probably want to go at noon.
Yeah.
Because that's what's happening. But then you get intelligent hauntings where they'll interact with you on, command when you ask for things. And then sometimes it's just not haunted. So just
people get their hopes up and then like maybe their mind gets the best of them, plays tricks on them or whatever.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the name of your podcast?
It's Or So They Say
And
Pod.
where can they find you?
You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, or nope.
No more
scratch
X.
Twitter. Yeah, we're on
X
Instagram,
to the X.
Facebook, and TikTok.
All right, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.